So once you make Emerald 3 in NFL 2K Playmakers, you need 54,000 deck rating in order to make Sapphire tier. Now that might seem daunting for a lot of people, especially being the availability of Sapphire cards in the game currently. Now we do have a pay-to-win Myles Garrett, which would certainly help. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to do this completely free to play, how to get to Sapphire tier the fastest and easiest way possible. And trust me, it's not as difficult as you think. Couple things I want to mention before we get started. This video is based more towards people that are currently in Emerald 3 tier, trying to get to that Sapphire tier. If you're still in Gold tier, I do have a beginner's guide video that I will leave the link for that in the description. But let me know in the comments what tier you currently are, if this video helped. Also, if you're interested in checking out a stream, go in the description, go follow Twitch. We do stream quite often over on there, so come over and check us out. So let's jump right in and take a look at what a Sapphire deck actually looks like. Now this is courtesy of Stewie, and big thanks to him for making it to Sapphire tier for one, but being kind enough to share this information with us. Now, he is a teammate of mine over on WWE SuperCard, so we'll kind of be making a comparison of the grind in this game to WWE SuperCard. But before we get into the actual numbers and me telling you, what game mode you need to be playing and why you need to be playing this particular division and such, let's just take a look at the deck itself. Now, if you play in this game, you know that the duplicates the more duplicates you get, you do increase equipment slots. Now, these are going to be very important when it comes to actually getting to Sapphire tier. But this is his offense right here. You see that it is all emeralds. There are no sapphires in here. You don't need sapphires to make Sapphire tier, but you do need duplicates, and you do need quite a few of them. But here is the offense, and we'll get into specific numbers of how many of each he has. But that's his offense right there. Here is his defense right here. And again, no sapphires in the defense either. He is exactly, at least as of sending this these pictures, he is exactly 54,000. And he does have, emeralds, silvers, and gold equipments in here. So you don't even need all emerald equipments either. You could still use basic equipments. And then his special teams is his one sapphire. Now, again, assuming that you did do seasons and did get that sapphire at the very end when you win the Super Bowl, you will have one sapphire in your deck. Hopefully it's a good one, but if not, you don't have to necessarily stress out about it. You can, just increase one of your emeralds to be around this Sapphire tier. His Sapphire is actually pretty good. He actually got a punter as well, which was pretty clutch for him. His kicker is even gold, which is kind of interesting as well. But either way, that is his team, and thank you to Stewie for sending us this information. I mentioned in the beginner's guide video how important the catalog is, and I do, again, recommend going to the catalog and checking this out, because this is where a lot of this information is pulled from. Because we need to know which cards are the best. We need to know which cards you want to get to that level 14 that is going to juice your deck as high as possible. Because the calculation is pretty simple. It's just total number of stats, and that's going to give you your deck rating. And so I definitely recommend utilizing this, because this is where we get a lot of our information, and you're going to want to know which emerald cards are the best in the tier, where they are located, which is also very important, meaning what team they play for tells you which division you need to play and which red zone division you need to grind. Now, assuming you are in Emerald 3 tier, I'm also going to assume that you have completed your Emerald season. Now, whether or not you got your Sapphire or whether or not you knew the tips and tricks in order to do seasons, which I did put in the beginner's guide, and you did get your Sapphire, that's kind of not as relevant as what is going to happen after that. Everything you're going to play from this point forward is going to be red zone drive. Now, in order to get to that Sapphire tier, you're only going to want to play one single division, and that is going to be out here in the West. Now, I will explain why this is, and there are reasons to play these other divisions, but if you want to make Sapphire the absolute fastest way you're going to want to play the West Division. And the reason that is because this game mode, the rewards are based on the region played. What that means is that when you play out in the West, all of your rewards from the draft board are going to be players from the West. And when it comes to Emerald tier, the best players are in the West. So now let's go back to Stewie's deck. And remember when I said you needed lots and lots of duplicates? That is definitely the case. And the exact numbers of these duplicates, he had, all of these are emeralds, and all of these are just basically offense and defense. I'm not counting special teams because he had one Sapphire special team and one gold special team. But as far as offense and defense goes, his level on his cards, on his emerald cards, between 1 and 4, he had only 5 of them. So only 5 cards in his entire deck he had between levels 1 and 4. Between 5 and 9, he had 7, and between 10 and 14, which is obviously the most important, he had 10 total. So that means you need lots and lots of dupes, because once you hit level 10, you get all 3 of your equipment slots unlocked, and you get a lot of extra stat bonuses. Now, approximate stat bonuses when you make it to level 5 is going to be an extra 136. That extra 136 with 2 equipments can be over almost 400 total points. And when you get to level 10, you have 3 equipments unlocked, which means it's an extra 322, approximately 322 extra. And then with 3 equipments, you can start pushing that plus 700 stat per every single emerald you have at 10 plus. Now, I made this spreadsheet to break down all of the emeralds that are currently in the game, where they are located, and this is where we came up with the best division to play for. I will leave this link. This is a Google Doc. I will leave it public, and the link for that will be in the description. I'll do the same thing for golds and sapphires and probably every other tier after that. These are all just base tier cards. And so basically looking through the catalog and looking at what teams each of the players play for, you can tell, well, what division they are in. And when you go into Red Zone Drive, if you play in that division, you have a chance of pulling that emerald on the draft board. So I broke this up into all 4 different divisions with all of the positions that you need in the game. I have highlighted specific ones in case you want to look for one single player where it is that you want to be playing. So for example, in the offensive line, we need 3 total for the offensive line, right? Well, the East has 5 emeralds that are on the offensive line. And based on odds, when you're pulling these on the draft board, your best chance to get an offensive line emerald is going to be playing in the East. Same with wide receiver. If you need a wide receiver, the best chance for you to get one is going to be in the West. Running back, they have 7 in the East. So your best chance is going to be in the East. Quarterback, tight end, defensive lineman, linebacker, defensive back, kicker, and punter. Now, not every single division has the required amount of players in order to make a full squad. So for example, out in the West, there is only 2 running backs in the West. You need 3 total, which means you need another running back. So maybe go to the East for a little bit, get a different running back. But most of the time you're going to be spending in the West. The totals are down here at the right. There's 27 emeralds in the North, 22 in the South, 33 in the East, and 24 in the West. But this last little column right here is going to be the reason why you want to play the West. In the top 20 emeralds, there are 7 total emeralds in the top 20 that are in the West. And to narrow that down even further, 4 out of the top 6 emeralds are in the West. And that is very, very important. The top, I think, 3 players in the emerald tier are all going to be in the West. So when you get these duplicates to level 10, having the best emeralds possible is going to be your fastest way to get to Sapphire. Now again, going back over to Stewie's deck, let's take a look at a couple of these top tier emerald players. On offense, Patrick Mahomes. He is, I believe, the 3rd highest rated emerald player, 2678. Now for the emeralds, I believe you need an average of something around 2345 in order to make Sapphire tier. Now these extra 300 plus points that you're getting from having these top rated players are going to come in clutch. The other 2 in the top 3 that are also in the West, we got Aaron Donald, 2792. That is better than all Sapphires in the game. The top 3 is actually, I think, better than all Sapphires in the game. But 2792, absolutely a beast of a card. And then we got Nick Bosa over here at 2515. He's not quite as high because he only has silver equipments, as you see, and Aaron Donald has 2 golds and an emerald. But you can see out in the West is the place to be. It's the place to grind. So do you need to be buying packs trying to get Sapphire cards? No, you don't. Do you need to be spending any of your currency? No, you don't. Do you need to play franchise pick to try to get that juiced up special edition Sapphire? No, you don't. The only thing you need to do is head over to Red Zone Drive and to grind out the West and get these duplicates. Now, do you have to do the West in order to make Sapphire tier? I don't think you do. You can certainly play other divisions, but that is definitely the fastest way to get there. And we talk about the time aspect. Like I said, Stewie is a teammate of mine over on WWE SuperCard. And when we compare the amount of time it takes to get to the top tier, I'm going to kind of compare it to the start of a new season in WWE SuperCard. When you start a new season, there are 3 new tiers, or at least 3 new tiers you need to grind up in order to get to that top tier. And when we first started this game, it's very simple. You started in silver, you go to gold, you go to emerald, you go to sapphire, top tier. The amount of time that it took him in order to go from gold tier all the way to sapphire, he said was by far, hands down, way less in this game than it is in WWE SuperCard. So that does make me kind of happy, which kind of makes me, want to play other divisions, want to try to, I don't know, grind out other players that I really like. You could do the North right here. Granted, they only have 6 in the top 20. They do have a couple more players in the pool of emeralds that you can pull from, which means that your chances for duplicates is going to be a lot lower. You know what I mean? Since the pool is larger, your chances of duplicates is going to be smaller. That's why out in the East, when you have 33 total pulls, although they do cover every position, including kicker and punter, there's 33 total cards. 22 is in the South. Now, you have your best chance of pulling duplicates if you play only in the South. But they only have 2 in the top 20. Their cards are by far the lowest quality. So whichever division you want to do, totally up to you. But out in the West, if you want to do this the fastest, they have the best players. So again, big thanks to Stewie for not only being able to achieve this, but sharing this with us. And like I said, if you want to check out the spreadsheet, which I will make available for anybody that has the link for that will be in the description. I'll do one for Sapphire. I'll do one for all the golds and probably even the silvers in case you just want to collect. Although getting silvers to level 14 is pretty easy. Also, if you want to check out a Twitch stream, go in the description, go head over to Twitch and go follow that. But either way, I'm still having a lot of fun. We've been streaming this game a lot, been grinding it a lot. I'm excited for the future. Hopefully, we get some of these NFL draft players in the game, that would be fantastic. I really hope that comes too. But leave a thumbs up if this video did help you. And I do want to emphasize again, Sapphire is possible. Don't just quit. And it's not as difficult as you think. Just grind out the West. You're going to get there. You're going to get these duplicates. Still having a lot of fun on the game though. And hopefully you are too. I will see y'all next time. Y'all take it easy. We're out. Peace.